Today's video is brought to you by Vinyl Moon. Vinyl Moon is the all-in-one deluxe vinyl discovery. Every month they press awesome music on beautiful colored records and send them right to your door. Join today with discount code VINYLIZE to get 10% off. Alright, now as many of you know, it has been forever since I've made a video, so as a huge thank you for hanging in there, today we're going to check out a ton of awesome music that you're really going to love. Stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome back to Vinylize. I'm Jarrett New, and sorry it has taken me longer than Tool's newest album to post another video on this channel, but as you can see, I'm still alive and doing great. So I just wanted to give a huge thank you to all of you guys who sent me nice messages and asked me how the move was going. I really appreciate it. Now, as you can see behind me, I rebuilt the record wall again and pretty much set up the studio the same way it was in LA. So overall, things are getting pretty much back to normal around here. And most importantly, you guys can expect a lot of great new videos because I'm back. Now you're also going to want to stick around till the end of this video because there's a special mystery item that I'm going to show you that you're definitely not going to want to miss. But before we get to that, today's song of the day is 1612 by Vulfpeck. And if you have a suggestion for a song of the day, post it in the comments down below and you might see it in a future video. Okay, now I want to thank all of these awesome people for sending me all the cool stuff that we're going to see in today's video. I really appreciate the fact that y'all took the time out of your day to send me all this great music. And if you're watching this and you also want to send some music my way, be sure to mail it to this address. Now, as a side note, if you're wondering where I got this shirt, I made it on Teespring and I think it turned out pretty well. So if you guys want to pick one up for yourself, the link is in the video description down below. Alright, now that we're all caught up, let's dive in. First package. Okay, so the first package I got is from Marcos Luna, and it's the album Taiga by the Norwegian artist named Kubi. I'm not sure if he's pronounced Kube or Cube-E, but either way, the album cover looks pretty cool, with a majestic-looking reindeer-like creature floating high above the clouds. Now, we flip it over to the back, and we get a simple black border with the track list and also the special thanks in the middle. So the back isn't as colorful as the front, but if we look at the record itself, it looks stunning. It's pressed on lime green and purple splatter vinyl, and kind of looks like a pattern you might find on the inside of like a psychedelic watermelon. It also looks really classy spinning on your turntable. Now, as far as the music goes, it's beat-driven electronic synth dream pop. It's fun, fresh, vibrant, dance-friendly headphone candy. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you're definitely going to enjoy this record. Next package. Alright, so this record comes to us from Vinyl Moon, and it's volume number 35 called How Much Boom. Now, according to the liner note, this record is all about how music and art can fill the space around us and make life more beautiful. Which is true. Music is awesome. So if we go ahead and open up the little booklet here, we see all the musicians featured on this particular release. And on the back, we get some info about the artist Jonas Fish, who designed all the artwork on this record, especially this very colorful jacket. Now, what's interesting about this is that when you unfold it, it measures over 5 feet in length, which is pretty interesting. And it also has a small hole at the top where you could even nail it to your wall. So basically this goes back to that idea of music and space. Now, looking at the record itself, it's on beautiful, bright and sunny solid yellow vinyl. And as far as the music on the record goes, side A has more of a hip and modern R&B feel to it, with tracks like Space by A Cosmic Gift and Mad Dogs and Englishmen by Kai Fish. But my favorite track was The Jungle by There Is No Gravity. That song was pretty cool. Now we flip the record over to side B and we get instrumental tracks like Grape Judas by Wizard of Loneliness and more trippy tracks like Dead Dog Head. That's a song that I hope my dog never listens to. Cover your ears, Gracie. Next package. Alright, so this one includes 3 LPs and comes to us from Lubos Fritz from Keytar Records. So the first album is Camaro Cruise, and the artwork on the front looks awesome. We got a red Camaro down here, some Miami palm trees in the background, and some very retro 80s looking font at the top. Now, if we flip it over to the back, we got kind of a Knight Rider theme going on back here with that same red Camaro sort of driving off into the neon night. So overall, the artwork on here is definitely very 80s inspired. Now, the record itself is on standard black vinyl, and the music on here sounds exactly how the artwork looks. It's a fun, nostalgic, retro, throwback, synth-heavy kind of mixtape from a lot of different artists. So if the 80s is your favorite decade, you're really gonna love Camaro Cruise. Okay, the next record in the package is actually an EP called Beyond Horizons by Stellar Dreams. On the front cover, we get 2 shadowy figures down here, kind of overlooking what appears to be the city of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, at night. And if we flip it over to the back, we get that same cityscape at the top, as well as the track list and some liner notes down at the bottom. Now, taking a look at the record here, we see it's on beautiful sky blue and cloudy white vinyl. It's got a nice marble swirl thing going on, which looks really cool, and most importantly, the music on this record has a slow, building, orchestral, and somber feel to it. This record overall feels bold, larger than life, and overall pretty inspirational. And finally, the last album in the package is called Midnight Maimer by Clusterbuster. On the front, we get this creepy serial killer-like figure holding a large knife and just kind of chilling outside this Victorian-style house where his victim awaits. I'm guessing this is probably the Midnight Maimer. Looks about right. Now we flip it over to the back and we get the track list here where every song title has something to do with blood, guts, or gore. So they're really committing to that overall horror theme. Also, the record itself is on blood red vinyl, of course, and the music within the record is actually really good. It has kind of a dark, retro, 80s synthwave feel to it, and if you like soundtracks from horror movies like The Thing, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street, you're really gonna love this album as well. Next package. Okay, the next record is from Vinyl Moon and it's volume number 36 called Shapeshifters. And according to the liner note, this mix was inspired by observing how our natural environment behaves and changes at night. It also calls attention to that hypnagogic state of mind where we're not fully awake, but we're also not fully asleep. So it looks like it's going to be an interesting mix. Now, if we go ahead and open up the little booklet, yet again we see all the musicians featured on this particular release. And then on the back we get some info about the artist Tessa Rose Jackson, who designed all the artwork on this record. And if we go ahead and look on the left side of the gatefold, we get 3 different dual-sided discs, which you can place on your turntable and combine with a strobe light app on your phone to create some really cool looking effects. Now, looking at the record itself, it's on a smoky vinyl color with ink splotches of red, yellow, black, and blue, so it definitely has a nice bold mix of colors. But how does the music sound? Well, side A has a really chill vibe to it, with tracks like Cold War by Cautious Clay and Love Is So Hard by the Millennial Club. But my favorite track was An Indication by Shia LaBeouf, not to be confused with Shia LaBeouf, who's someone completely different. So anyways, we flip it over to side B and we get atmospheric tracks like Como Rebi by Catching Flies and more down-tempo tracks like Are You Leaving by Sassy 009. But my favorite track on this side was Guilty Pleasures by Georgie K. It's a cool song with a great beat. Next package. Okay, so the next one is actually just a letter from Josh Spongberg from South Jordan, Utah. And apparently he's starting a record shop sticker collection, and he wanted to send me this one from his local record shop called Grey Whale. Kind of a funny message here, but yeah, we should always support our local record shops when we're able to. Maybe the next time I visit Utah, I'll stop in and check out Gray Whale. So thank you so much for the sticker and the letter, Josh, and good luck with your collection. Next package. Alright, now next up we got a package from Meredith Yoyanos from The Parlor Trick. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a little while now, you'll already know that I really like this indie band, and I especially enjoy their dark album, A Blessed Unrest. Now, I mentioned the black and gold vinyl pressing of that album a while back in this video, right up here, and because of that video, Meredith completely sold out of that pressing. So after that, she reached out to me on Instagram and let me know that she would be sending something over in the mail as a big thank you. So here it is, and let's open it up. Okay, so it came with a poster in here of the Parlor Tricks album, A Blessed Unrest, and it was even signed right down here by Meredith herself. So that's pretty cool. Also included in the package was a sort of good luck charm and a handwritten note from Meredith thanking me again for bringing attention to her band and telling me that she's looking forward to new music projects in the future. So once again, thank you to both Meredith and Dan from The Parlor Trick for sending all of this over, and best of luck to both of y'all on all of your upcoming music projects. Next package. Okay, the next one we got is from Scott Inman, and before I show you what the records are, let's check out the note he included in the box. So here it is, and basically he talks about how he has rediscovered his love for vinyl after picking up an Audio-Technica LP120, upgrading to an Audiophile 2M Blue, and getting a nice pair of speakers. He's also a fan of the channel, and he wanted to send some music my way, which was very nice of him. Also, he does have a pet rabbit named Jimmy Bundrix, and apparently he loves vinyl as well. Alright, now the first album is 17 Seconds by The Cure. On the front, we get an abstract image of some trees and a bright white sky. So it's a pretty simple album cover, but if we flip it over to the back, we see a little bit more going on here. We get the track list at the top, of course, but also the credits and more abstract portraits down at the bottom. So overall, the jacket has a pretty simple design to it. Now, looking at the record itself, it's on standard black vinyl. It has 5 songs per side, and overall looks to be in mint condition, as every brand new record should be. So how does the music sound? Well, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Disintegration, which is basically a perfect album. Now, this album also has that same kind of sullen rock sound to it that The Cure is known for, but unlike Disintegration, it's not trying to be as big and bold. It's more relaxed and more chill, but yet still has that overall hypnotic Cure feel to it. Also, it has some great riffs, and most importantly, excellent dynamic range. It sounds awesome. Now, the second record here is the debut album from Babymetal, which is a Japanese J-pop heavy metal band. Now, normally those are two very different genres, but this band blends them together and they do a pretty good job of that. Now, if we open the record jacket, we see that there are 3 horned figures here, each with their own letter. And those letters are Y, S, and M, which represent the 3 band members, Yui, Suzuka, and Moa. So already this kind of artwork feels right at home with what you'd normally expect to find on any metal album. So if we take a look at the records themselves, we see that they're on red vinyl, which looks really cool and definitely complements the rest of the album artwork. But how does the music sound? Well, as I said earlier, their sound is very different than what we're normally used to. There's, a lot of J-pop and K-pop fans out there, and of course there's also a ton of metal fans. But a band that blends both in the same song, that's something pretty rare. But regardless, I do think they handle it very well. The music is extremely energetic, has some good metal riffs, and overall is very entertaining. So Babymetal, keep doing your thing. Next package. Okay, the next record is from Vinyl Moon, and it's volume number 37 called Rebirth. But before we get to the liner notes, let's check out this little challenge coin here, which commemorates my entry into the VIP program. So according to the little card here, you now enter the VIP program after you've been with Vinyl Moon for over a year. And that gives you access to special colored variants of each volume. So that's pretty cool. Now, moving on to the liner note, we see that this record is inspired by all of life's challenges and new beginnings. Kind of like starting a new chapter in your life or moving to a new state. So if we go ahead and open up the little booklet here, we see all the musicians featured on this release. And then on the back, we're also given a brief bio about the artist Shrey Gupta, who designed all the artwork on this release. So as you guys can probably tell by now, Vinyl Moon uses a different artist for every record. So no two records are going to look the same. So I think that's kind of cool. Now, opening the left side of the gatefold, we get a custom felt slip mat featuring the same artwork on the cover. And on the right side of the gatefold is, of course, the record itself. As you can see, it's on beautiful ocean blue vinyl and also has some white thrown in there for good measure. It looks really cool. Now, as far as the music goes, side A has a pretty chill feel to it, with songs like Let's Get It by Bo Elledge and Cherry Blossom Oak by Christian Bessa Wright. But my favorite track was Serve Somebody by Duets and Stuff. Now we flip the record over to side B and the pace slows down quite a bit with sentimental songs like Hollow by Anko and Pale and Blue by John Burnett. But my favorite track on this side was If Only I by the band Alma, which is actually spelt this way. It was a very moving, uplifting song, and overall I really liked it. Next package. Okay, the next one is another letter, but this time from Alex Brown in Glasgow, Scotland. Apparently he's a big fan of the channel, and according to this letter, he has in his personal collection an Audio-Technica LP60, an LP120, an Ion LP2 CD, which he plays 78s on and records onto CDs. He also has 2 amplifiers, 2 cassette decks, and a ton of other audio gear lying around his house. So he definitely sounds like a hardcore audiophile junkie like the rest of us. So basically, he's sending this letter as kind of a thank you for all the tips and videos I've made on the channel, which apparently have helped him out. So I just wanted to take a moment here to say thank you, Alex, for watching the channel. You're awesome. And also, I like how he put down here, I'm in a Crosley Cruiser free zone. Wise choice, man. Wise choice. Next package. Okay, so the next one is also from Scott Inman. Basically, he sent me 3 packages in total, which was super nice of him. So Scott, if you're watching this video, thank you so much. Now, the first package here is actually an Oreo music box, which looks really interesting. And according to the little note he included here, he got this as a Christmas present for me. So sorry it's taken me a little while to finally get around to opening it. But overall, this thing looks really cool. Now, according to the instructions here, first you have to place a whole Oreo cookie on the turntable, then you move the little tone arm to the center of the cookie, and music will start playing. Also, every time you take a bite out of the cookie, the song changes. So the overall goal here is to see how many melodies you can munch, which is actually pretty funny. Now, in the package, it also includes all the Oreo cookies you need to get started, as well as, of course, the Oreo cookie record player, which looks really interesting. So overall, this is kind of a funny little toy here, and actually I'll probably make a separate video in the near future to tell you guys my thoughts about just this item, because I think it's, really neat and it deserves its own video. But in the meantime, if you guys want to check it out for yourself, I'll drop the Amazon link down in the video description below, and that will give you the updated price. Next package. Now, the final record I got here from Scott is Are You Experienced by Jimi Hendrix. And as we all know, this is a classic psychedelic rock album that I didn't have in my collection, but now I do. So thank you so much, dude. You've made me very happy. So let's check it out. All right, so on the front here, we got the 3 band members that make up the Jimi Hendrix Experience. We got Jimi Hendrix, of course, Mitch Mitchell, and Noel Redding. It also has some trippy purple font against a solid yellow background, which looks really cool. Now we flip it over to the back and we see the track list up at the top in black and white, as well as portraits of the 3 band members with Jimi front and center. Alright, now let's check out the record. So here it is, and in addition to it being on standard black vinyl, it also seems to be a heavyweight vinyl. It feels like either 180 gram or 200 gram, but either way it has some real heft to it. Also, as far as the music itself is concerned, the first thing I noticed is that this record is mastered very well. I believe it was made from a direct analog master, and however they did it, it sounds great with a pair of headphones. Now, what can I say about this album that hasn't already been said? This is perfect 60s psychedelic rock and epic guitar shredding. So if you love music from the 60s, 70s, or even vinyl records in general, this one is a must-have. Next package. Okay, so the next one is a record from Vinyl Moon, and it's volume number 38 called Sticky Fruit. Now, according to the liner note, the central theme behind this record is the guitar. So the guitar is going to be used in every song in different ways. So if we go ahead and open the booklet here, we see all the musicians featured on this release. And then on the back, we're also given a brief bio about the artist, Dennis Wojciewicz, who designed all the artwork on this record. And speaking of the artwork, if we look on the front and the back, we notice these beautiful oil paintings of fruit that look so good, I just want to reach out and eat it. Also, when we open up the record jacket, we see another large print of what appears to be a peach. And then on the left side of the gatefold, we get another poster of, you guessed it, more fruit. And this one is a juicy watermelon, which looks really good. Now on the right side of the jacket, we get the record, of course, but also this little red scratch and sniff sticker. And when you peel it, it really does smell like fruit, sticky fruit. So that's kind of cool. But most importantly, how does the music on this record sound? Well, on side A, we get some bassy chill tracks like Semiotic Vision by approachable members of your local community, which as a side note is kind of a funny name for a band. And then we get more modern indie pop dance-friendly songs like Mind Eraser by Cruiser, but my favorite one on this side is Be My Guest by Antoine Diligent. It's very catchy. Now we flip the record over to side B and we get fun and lively songs like No FOMO by Fake Shark and a garage rock type of song called Mantras for a Failed Academic by Sad Hill. But my favorite song by far was Higher Than You by Heavy English. That one's really cool. Next package. Alright, now let's finally get to that mystery item that you guys have been waiting for. So, from Rod Rogers, a big fan of the show, I received an Audiophile 2M Black Plug and Play Mark II stylus, cartridge, and headshell assembly. Are you kidding me? Seriously? I don't even know what to say here. I mean, I haven't even made a video review about my 2M Red yet, and out of nowhere, this just drops into my lap. So, Rod, dude, thank you so much for this. This is really going to make a huge difference in my setup, and I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am that you sent this over. You're awesome. Okay, so the next package is... Oh man, that was almost finished. Well, if you guys want to see the rest of all this awesome music, be sure to watch part 2, which is going to be coming up next. So until then, have an awesome day, and as usual, keep spinning that vinyl. Now I kind of want watermelon.